expire in my environment. So it brings back in this case, and it shows that I have no expiring accounts. Now, what I can do too with this is look at a couple of other things. Let's say we want to look at domain users with administrative rights. Now, in my case here, I can actually say these are the different users who have administrative rights. Now, I'm looking at demo.local, and it lists all of these different rights, the administrative groups being domain admins or enterprise admins, and then the different accounts who are members of those. So now I can easily find out who has access to what because of this. Or more importantly, let's go ahead and run some reports here for our computers. So let's say that I want to find out some permissions reports. Show me all of the permissions where they've been explicitly granted to a particular folder for an account. So now I can look at any number of features. I can look at an enterprise scope, which is a logical grouping of computers, whole domain, description, IP address, even a computer type. So in my enterprise scope, or in this case I'll choose domain, select my demo domain, I hit plus, shows me the computer that I'm looking for, I select next, then I can choose an account, and I can do it by display name, and I'll do this case the administrator. I want to find out what the administrator account can do. I'm going to add them to my list. I'm going to click next. I can choose to display their group memberships. There's several different options for this. And I can click finish. So now it's going to find out in this case what the user is, what the different access they have. So in this case here, the administrator is allowed full control to see program files, script logic manager, desktop authority on demo dc1.demo.local. So this was a very basic report. The point here is to show you various different reports and how they look and feel. Now what's nice about this is you don't have to just work with the reports the way they are on screen. You can print them from this menu. You can also export the reports in any number of formats. So if you want to create a web page, you want to create a PDF, you want to create a rich text format, delimited text, even a TIFF, you can do so from this. So I'll create a PDF in this case. In my PDF, I'm going to save to my desktop, and I'm going to call this Explicit Perms Administrator, and select Save. Now, when I click Next, it even gives me options for my PDF. Things like PDF version and document security. So I can encrypt the document. I can change the properties for the document and choose what fonts I want to use with this. So we've provided quite a bit of robustness to our export feature. It takes just a few seconds, and that's now exported to my desktop. So quite simply here, I can look at my exported report exactly the way that it was on screen. Very simply, I see a nice formatted report for explicit permissions for this account under this folder. Now, really what we're looking for here, an Enterprise Security Reporter, is the ability to customize these reports. So I already did this report. We know that I had 3 different steps here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this built-in report. And we see here the report type, its name, its description. We also see where it is. So it's in our explicit permissions report categorization. So I can go ahead and set that up. It also shows what particular tables and columns we're looking for. So on the account table, I want the account display name and account type. I want the ACE type, what it applies to, whether the permission is inherited or not, what the permissions text are, the full path to this, the domain name, the computer name, the start date for this. All of this information is going to be in our database, and we can choose to include or exclude any of it. So I'm going to leave that the same. Then I see how I want to actually sort this. So I'm sorting first and foremost by domain name, then computer name, then the paths on the computers. Now for each of these, I can very simply see what I'm looking for. Now you remember when I went through just a minute ago the various different wizard screens there. There were 3 different aspects. Well, what it asks me for in a lot of these cases is things like group memberships. So I'm going to look at this now, and it says required. And I'm choosing here the option to display group memberships. Now in a lot of these cases here, I can choose whether or not I even want to put these parameters in. So let's go back here and say on my accounts, I'm going to edit accounts, and it's going to say select computer. Now I'm going to say it's required, and I'm going to say it's equal to, and I can put any computer that I want. Or I can hide this value if I don't want it to be populated. It's very easy for me to customize these various aspects of the report. Now it generates dynamic query information for me, allows me to select an account or a layout for this different report. Now I already have an active layout, and I can actually go to my designer and look at my active layout and change the way the report looks and feels. So I could change logos, change fields, add fields, whatever I want to do to make this report customized, I can do so from here without having to know really anything about SQL. And then I can actually go back, click Next, set what my report title is, what my available parameters are, and click Finish. So Enterprise Security Reporter version 3 has a lot of built-in reports, but the key aspect for this now was the flexibility of the reporting. Being able to create customized reports based on any various aspects to find out exactly what you're looking for. So you could create a report for permissions on a certain folder, or permissions for all accounts on the network, or permissions for one account on the entire network, or as a result of group memberships, what are the effective permissions for a particular account. All of that can be done inside Enterprise Security Reporter to give you a snapshot of who can access what resources and do what various roles within your environment. One of the nice things about this, though, is we've added also to Enterprise Security Reporter, not only did we give you the ability to schedule the discovery of this information, but also the ability to discover or to schedule the reporting of this information. So from this interface, we can configure that, we can set that up, so you can now get the reports in the format you want. Everything will be automated for you and provide you with access control information for your entire environment.